Good evening, good evening, good evening to all those who choose to pay attention. I am Mr. Blackamo Styles. And I said to myself, I'm going to get online, but I didn't really have much to talk about or to rant. It's only Monday. I kind of do my rants throughout the week on sucker shit. But today, I felt like I wanted to kind of talk about something a little bit different. Um, I wanted to talk about bonding within trauma. Now, before I get started with all this, I want to let you know one, I have an objective perspective. I'm a man in the middle. I'm not going this way, I'm not going that way, I'm on my square. So there's no judgment here. These are just a perspective, things that I see, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible. Just want to make that clear. So now, I want to speak on bonding within trauma. Now, the books say something different. I say trauma bonding, but their definition of trauma bonding and mine, I feel like they are on kind of different scopes. So I'm just speaking from my perspective. Bonding within trauma. Who knows a relationship where all they do is fight? Argue, fight, stay divided, no sex. And I'm going to tell you why. Because every human being in the United States of America and beyond has some form of traumas. Let me repeat that. Every human being that roams to and fro on this earth has some form of trauma in their life. It's a fact. Some won't like to admit it. So now you have one person with trauma, the other person with trauma. They're dealing with their trauma and they're clashing through their trauma. One of the things I wish I would have picked up on a long time ago was to learn to speak about my traumas. Because that will make the person that is with me be comfortable enough to speak about their traumas. But sometimes the trauma causes people not to recognize their trauma. In other words, I can have trauma, but if I don't see my trauma and everybody else do, I'm against everybody who sees and calls out my trauma. Because my trauma is me not knowing that I have trauma. That might have been complicated for some. Hopefully, slow it down, rewind it, and slow it down. Some people are in their bubble with their trauma. They don't know they have trauma. How they act, how they respond, how they do certain things, it relates to their trauma. But they see it as just a normal thing for them, not realizing how it affects everything on the outside of them. Because they can't see their trauma. being displayed. Yeah, I like that better. They can't see their trauma being displayed, so therefore they'll get very defensive when you call out their trauma. Trauma behavior, not their trauma behavior. But then you have one person has trauma, the other person has trauma, but they come together and they comfort each other in their trauma. So, I would give advice. And I listen, on my track record, I'm kind of good at giving advice, but I'm just learning on how to take it, right? Like take the advice that I give. You know, took me a long time to learn that, to take the advice that I give. So they comfort each other in their trauma. Friendships. You have friends, they comfort each other in their trauma. Those are relationships too. You know? You have guys who would rather chill out with their male friends all day, every day from dusk till dawn, because I guess he understands him in his trauma where his woman can't relate. So she's thinking, oh, he's never home. The reason why he's never home because he's dealing around people who comfort him in his trauma. You know, vice versa. You have ladies who go through situations in their relationships. They call their best friends and tell them every single revealing secret that's in their relationship. Every revealing secret, exposing their man. Because their friend, they share that same trauma. So they're bonding within their trauma.